So, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing you another tropical update here from the Hurricane Watch team. We have multiple areas of concern that we need to discuss. So, without any further ado, let's get started. First, I really want to talk about Tropical Storm Estelle. As you can clearly see, it is just falling apart. Northerly shear really continues to take a toll on Estelle. Its low-level center appears to be partially exposed in proxy visible satellite imagery. With its associated deep convection limited in coverage and confined to the southern and eastern portions of its circulation, Estelle is no longer a hurricane, and recent ASCAT B and C data show peak-derived winds of anywhere from 40 to 50 knots. In the northeast quadrant of the cyclone, after accounting for some undersampling, the initial intensity of Estelle has been lowered to 55 knots. For this advisor, that's about 65 miles per hour. Estelle is currently expected to continue weakening, although the deep layer shear is likely to diminish within the next 12 to 24 hours. The cyclone will cross the 26 degrees centigrade isotherm layer today and move over progressively cooler SSTs through the midweek. The National Hurricane Center intensity forecast follows the multi-model consensus and calls for a steady weakening over the next few days. Simulated satellite imagery from the GFS and the ECMWF models indicates that the cyclone will struggle to generate deep organized convection later this week as it moves into a drier and more stable air mass. Estelle is forecast to degenerate into a post-tropical remnant low by Thursday, but it could take a couple of more days for the low to open into a trough and dissipate. The initial position of Estelle is westward at around 280 degrees, about 11 knots, but it is expected to turn west-northwestward later today as it moves around the periphery of a mid-level ridge centered over the southwestern United States. This ridge will keep Estelle on a west-northwestward heading for over the next few days as the cyclone spins down and becomes more vertically shallow. The low-level trade wind flow should steer the remnant low more westward over the next 4 to 5 days. The National Hurricane Center track forecast is very similar to the previous one and remains near the HCCA and the TVCE consensus aids. Stay tuned for the Hurricane Watch team for more updates. So that's what we have with Estelle. It's very, very just kind of falling apart. I mean, we're seeing some dark reds, some blacks, even some grays, and getting into some of those whites, but we're not seeing any pinks, any of that super deep thunderstorm activity. But generally, at least 70 degrees centigrade, negative 70 degrees centigrade is what we're seeing. If we look at this is where we're looking at of the storm. You can clearly see the center circulation is certainly exposed. Look at it right here. There it is. You can see the center circulation right there, just starting to become a little bit more exposed. I did want to say just thank you all for watching this video so far, and letting you know that if this video has been useful to you so far, like it, share with your friends, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to click on the notification bell to get notified of when a new video or live stream comes out. Thanks again. So threats coming in from Estelle are going to be so minimal that it's going to be practically none. There's the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula. It's really far away, and so really, I mean, you can literally see it's partly cloudy. It looks partly cloudy to overcast, maybe. Yeah, I'd say partly cloudy in portions of the southern Baja California Peninsula. So, really, I don't really think that this is going to be bringing any kind of direct impacts to Mexico or the Baja California Peninsula. So, this is what we got with the next system that we were looking at right here. I will be going to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center shortly. We do have the Invest 91W in the Western Pacific. However, it is not expected to undergo significant intensification over the next 5 days, with the GFS being an outlier. That is what we're looking at. There is generally a deep amount of activity. I do want to go over to the forecast models. The GFS does show it last I checked, was going to be showing it becoming something rather more interesting. We go to time here. As you can see, you really can't even really tell where the storm is at. Hold on, let me just see where this is at in terms of Because I can click on this and do true color zoomed out. You really can't tell where this thing is at all. It's just in the middle of the Pacific, so it really doesn't matter where this is at, because this is, you can clearly see very strong wind shear coming in from the north, just blowing right there. So that's what we got with that system. Not looking, really anything super crazy. Later in the future, as y'all can clearly see, in over 300 hours from now, they are expecting some very powerful. Now again, that based on what we're seeing there, that's probably honestly a Category 4, because in the West Pacific, air pressure is a lot lower in the West Pacific. Therefore, the air pressure would be lower for hurricanes. Like, you can have, I'm not even joking, you can have a tropical depression at 998 millibars. I'm not even exaggerating about that. Literally a Category 5 typhoon will have an air pressure well below 920. Like as low, even a minimal Category 5 may have an air pressure of 910 millibars. Typhoon, I should say. So knowing this is maybe 140, 150 mile per hour Category 4 typhoon, based on what I'm seeing on the air pressure. That's even if it is even anywhere near accurate. Now, in 192 hours, they do expect some kind of cluster thunderstorms to develop here. Now, that depends. Is it going to happen or not? We'll have to see. Really not a whole lot to talk about. I want to quickly go over what we're seeing here in the East Pacific. Really, all these systems are just moving away from Mexico and Central America. So, really, I don't think there will really need to be anything to talk about in terms of direct impact or any kind of impacts in terms of tropical cyclone activity here in the East Pacific. If we take a look at the North Atlantic, as you can see, it is still very, very calm. There's a lot of sinking air still. If I go over to satellite imagery and show y'all the North Atlantic, y'all can clearly see here. Generally, you can see that dry air just coming right off the coast of Mexico. We're talking about Mexico so much, off the west coast of Africa. And there you can see it. You can kind of see that dry air pushing right through here. Kind of the ITCZ, the Intertropical Convergence Zone right here. It's pretty far south. So far south that a lot of it is going into portions of extreme northeastern Brazil. The ITCZ is actually going southwest. Pretty far south there, but that's what we're looking at there with the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Well, guys, that's all the news we have for you right now. Don't forget that we have our own Discord server where you can chat with the team and the community. Link is in the description below. We also have a Patreon page too for only $1 a month. You can get exclusive benefits and keep the channel going. And if you don't want or you can't support us in that way, even as little as subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, clicking on that notification bell, sharing our videos, and commenting, it helps out a lot. Again, thanks for watching, and remember, we are the Hurricane Launch Team, your source for cyclone information. Peace out.